Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome to this year's edition of the Terry's Floor and Kyle Donahue Show, where we cover everything on the court with the Chucky Doke Lady Black Knights basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Dr. Donahue. Is that what it is now?
That's what it is now.
Coach, doctor. What should I call you? I don't know what to call you.
Whatever you want to call me, man.
I'll call you doctor. You worked hard on that title.
I did.
So
yeah.
For the first episode, I'll call you doctor throughout.
Sure.
But Doc, it's good to be back. It's been a while since we've sat down.
We're rolling.
I know we didn't do a Black Knight Showcase show last year, or the spring show, whatever we called it.
Yeah.
We finally got a baseball show in there, so it's been a while since I've sat down in the office.
Welcome back in the coach's office.
And we've done a coach's show. We still don't have a name for you. We still need to come up with that.
We'll get on that.
We need to do a fan poll. I'm serious.
Go for it. It's all you, buddy.
Got to talk some basketball, though.
Sure.
I know you're excited. Season tipped off on Tuesday night. I came in here last week, and we did a preview interview, a written preview interview, so we'll do another little short preview, but not as long as that one because, of course, you can go read the full interview on our website. Just pay the subscription. You can read that. But give us kind of a scope of the team this year. I know we've got 6 players who played minutes last year. You've got 4 seniors. You've got no juniors. You've got a few freshmen. One that had significant minutes the other night against Washburn. So take us through your team and tell us what to expect this year.
Sure. We've got a lot of, like you said, we've got 4 senior returners. Sanaya Atchison, Taven Sutherland, Layla Fox, and Kennedy Brown. So they all bring something unique to the table as far as leadership and what they bring on the court. They're all different, but they all have stepped into really a good leadership role. They've all kind of found their lanes. So in our preseason camp, they've done a good job of pushing not only themselves but pushing everyone else. So I've been really proud of their leadership as we move on. You know, they were sophomores when I came aboard, so anytime you have somebody that's been around for 3 years, they know what the standard is and they know what the expectations are, and they've really helped push those among the team. So you mentioned no juniors this year. Sophomores, we've got Isabel Carricker, and Chloe Kirkpatrick. We're excited about both of those, bringing in some energy into the game. They both need to get more varsity time, and they'll get plenty of that this year. And then freshman-wise, we've got Taven Sutherland, or not Taven. I'll do that all year long, and Sanaya hated me when I did it to her when her sister was here, but I'll do it all year long. Traylon Sutherland, Jaden Myers, Jesse Dayton, Sarah Yates, and who am I missing? Chloe Henderson. So it's a good crop, good mix of group. The freshmen are, I'm sure their head's still spinning a little bit after preseason camp, and we really tried to focus in our camp on individual things throughout the day. So one day was all defense, one day was all shooting. So there was a lot of things that we threw at them in a short amount of time, but our execution had improved throughout those 2 weeks, and I'm decently happy with where we're at right now going into the season. So
it's kind of, I mentioned it during the Meet the Lady Knights event the other night, which if you were there, thank you for coming out. But
yeah, thank you.
It's kind of your first class, the senior group is, because usually whenever you come in, you have a class of freshmen that you're with for 4 years before they become your first 4-year class. But, of course, you don't have any juniors. So this is going to be technically like your first class that you graduate as a head coach of this program. So how much does it mean for you to see them step into their shoes as seniors now and play that senior season under your leadership?
As freshmen and sophomores, they got a lot of time as well. So they've played a ton of minutes throughout their 4 years. So it does your heart good to watch them blossom into seniors, and hopefully they take the next step in leading this group throughout the year, both on and off the court. But they've done, you and I talked, they've done a lot of things off the court that is good to see. One of the things that everyone loved to talk about at Meet the Lady Knights was the camaraderie and the togetherness of the group, and that's a credit to the seniors. They've created what they call first week was Sarah Week. This week is Jesse Week. So they're highlighting one of our teammates, and every day that teammate has to tell something about themselves for the whole week. So hopefully it doesn't get to me. I don't want them to know too much.
I don't know if basketball season. How many players you have?
I don't know. We got 11. So
11 weeks. Ooh, you might get there. You might have to put Nicole and Erica first. So maybe you don't get to it.
They've talked about it, but it's good to see them taking that step outside of basketball to bring the team together, and I feel really good about where they are as a unit and as a group. Obviously, they're going to get mad at each other. Obviously, they're going to get mad at me. But as long as we have that basis for where we can have a jumping off point that we can come back to when things get a little hairy, that's good for us.
I know we talked about it in the preview interview, and I talked about it with a lot of them whenever we interviewed them on Saturday, but the conference is obviously the most important thing this year. You want to win those conference games,
Sure.
You got to go and win those on the road to have a better standing going into the tournament, and I think they want to make it a deep playoff run this year. I know you had made it to regions the past 2 years, but you'd made it, I think, to the region semifinals 2 years ago,
Yep.
and I think you want to extend further now.
Sure.
And I think they've had that experience of going on those playoff runs that the teams before didn't really have, because as freshmen, they didn't make it that far.
Right.
As sophomores, they improved. As juniors, they kind of regressed a little bit, but as seniors, I think they want to take that extra step. So in order to take that extra step, what do you think it's going to take for them in the conference this year?
It's going to take a daily effort. It's going to take a daily effort to improve our skill set, to improve how we play, how hard we play. Every day is a new day to attack the day. And you look at the season as a whole, and you've got an end goal like regionals or whatever. But between now and then, you've got however many days to improve. So if you take that and you improve every day, and by the end of the year, hopefully we're at a better spot than we were when we first started. So that's, we talked about it. Everybody wants to talk about games and wins and who we can beat and who we can't and who we're looking at down the road. But in my mindset, it's every day we've got to improve defense. We've got to improve our passing. We've got to improve shooting. Each and every day we're touching on everything. And we're not a finished product. We played one game. It didn't come out in our favor, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure. But each and every day is a chance to get better. I felt like we did get better with our game than we had been playing. It just didn't come out in our favor. But as we look at the season as a whole, we've got to get better every day in practice. We've got to improve on our deficiencies. And one thing we talk about the girls, we've got to go hard enough to fail, right? So what does that mean for us? That means, if you're dribbling, go faster than you think you can go, because eventually that's going to be how fast you go. Mm-hmm. So we want to stretch ourselves every day in practice. It's when you're comfortable that you're getting regression. So we want to make them uncomfortable every day. There's different things I do to make them uncomfortable. Moving the cones around in a certain drill, and you can see their mind kind of like, what just happened? It's normally there. But we want to be comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Because when we go to Hampton, it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
When we go to South Green or West Green or Happy Valley or Johnson County, notice I named them all, it's going to be uncomfortable. So we want to be comfortable in that uncomfortability so that when that time comes, it's not a freak-out session.
So there's not one team that's hard to play at than any of the others. It's 20% for all five of the teams you
We're
play.
working for that next game.
Gotcha.
The next one.
You alluded to it, but you've already had one game nailed down this year with the
Sure.
game against Washburn on Tuesday night to open up the season. Didn't go the way you wanted it to with a 53-49 loss. Still had 3 double-digit performers in that game. You had Traylon Sutherland as a freshman who debuted with a double-double, 12 points, 15 rebounds. Kennedy Brown, your leading scorer last year, had 11 points, and then Belle Carricker had 10 points in not her varsity debut, but her first game as a sophomore where she's going to step into a new leadership role. So talk about the game in full on Tuesday night.
I thought we started with a lot of jitters. Obviously, it's first game.
Yeah.
You're on the road. It's forever away back in the...
Never been to Washburn, but I need to go sometime because I've heard.
That was the first time I'd ever went.
Okay.
You go to... The only way the bus can get there is what I've been told. Go past Granger and hang a left, and then there's some windy road that... I kind of got a little sick on, but thank you for driving us, Patrick. But it was, obviously the first little bit, you're kind of shaky, kind of nervous. I thought we settled in. I thought we played really, really hard. And that's one of our key things. We've got to play harder than the other team. And we played really hard. We made a ton of turnovers. And I think we missed half of our free throws. You take those into effect, I think we win that game. But, we got in foul trouble, and a lot of times on the road you're going to get in foul trouble. It seems like the refs are against us everywhere we go, and that's fine. Don't find me SEC or whatever, but we've got to play through it, and we got to be a little bit smarter in some of our actions that we do. But I was proud of how hard we worked. You don't know what to expect until it happens, and I thought our response was good. Other than the second quarter, I think we got beat in the second quarter by maybe 8 points. Other than that quarter, we probably should have won that game if we were even close in that second quarter. So, and a lot of that was some of our starters were out with foul trouble. It's what happens.
Happens a lot.
So we'll have to. Sorry about that. We'll have to improve that. But it's game one, and I'm proud of the fight that they had the other night. We had a chance to pull close, and it just didn't happen. But it's a long season.
And you've got a chance to respond on Saturday with your next game, too.
Sure.
First home game of the year
against
Hancock County in your second and last Hall of Champions game. Before we talk about that too much, though, as always, we've got to get a word in from our sponsors first. So we'll be right back after this break to talk about that game and next week's Thanksgiving Classic here on Grassroots Media.
At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pond is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pond help you today at 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee.
Pizza Inn's new Right Way Buffet is open and ready for you and your family. Now with new garlic buttery crust and stuffed crust pizza, along with salads and desserts. It's the best part of your day. The all-day, everyday buffet. Only at Pizza Inn Greenville.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Kyle Donahue Show, where we cover everything on the court with the Chuckey Lady Black Knights basketball team. As always, I'm here with head coach, doctor, associate principal, everything in between. Kyle Donahue, Coach. Going forward now, you got Hancock County Saturday. Sure. Host them. It'll be your first home game of the year. After that, you got the Hardy's Classic. We got the brackets, of course, right here in front of us.
Fresh off
so
the press.
We'll talk about them too. But take us through these games you have in the next week until we sit down again.
Hey, before we move on, what kind of flooring do you have at your house?
I don't know.
You don't even know.
I don't know.
We've got some hardwood. If you're looking for any flooring, go see Harley Thompson's Popsy at Terry's Flooring. Thank you for sponsoring us this year, Terry's Flooring. But anyway, going back to last game, the Washburn game, I meant to mention it. Traylon ended up with a double-double in her first action as a ninth grader, so that was pretty awesome to see. Still some things to refine, but she played really well. And Belle, Isabel Carricker played really, really well for us. Got 10 points. And she's really, really progressed since freshman year. Coach Nicole wants her to be the first girl in Greene County to dunk.
Okay.
So we'll see, but that's an option. But she's really progressed into a good option for us, and we think the sky's the limit for her as well. So we've got a good crop of young posts that we're excited about to go with. Our most of our, it seems like our upperclassmen are guards.
Yeah,
so that's
almost all.
Yeah, so that's a good little mix. So we're excited for where they're at. Moving forward, I don't know much about Hancock. I know we played them last year over here as well. We played them this summer, and they played us really hard. But it's tough to get a good grasp on things in summer because you don't know who's at the beach and who's wherever. But we played them really hard at Tusculum, and we're excited to get back home and play in LA. We have very few games in November, December in LA, so we're excited to have this one. And I think we only have 3 before Christmas, and then mostly on the road. We kind of did that to challenge ourselves a little bit. Obviously, with the Thanksgiving, you're going to play that away, and we wanted to challenge ourselves. Two of those games are conference games. I think we start at Hampton to start this year. I think we hosted them first last year. Can't remember, but I don't have the schedule in front of me. But it's going to be challenging, but that's a good thing.
You did host them first last year, just remember.
Yeah. So it's a good thing to challenge ourselves, stretch ourselves, common theme throughout the year as we move forward.
And then you got the Hardy's Classic also. Let's talk about it just a little bit because Thanksgiving week's always a tough week. I can't remember if we sat down on that exact week last year and did a coach's show. It's always tough to schedule those because you're playing on Monday or Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. May not be able to get here on Wednesday depending on which team practices and which teams I can sit down with. But we can talk about the bracket. Of course, you open up with Cott County in the same side as you. You've got Daniel Boone and Providence that you would play whether you win or lose. So take us through the Hardy's Classic this year. I know this will be your third straight year playing in it as a head coach now in the new program. So talk about what you expect in the Hardy's Classic this year.
Sure. One thing I want you to mention when you talk to Coach Broyles, for those of you out there watching, and they mentioned at the Hardy's Classic press conference, Coach Broyles was the first MVP 35 years ago, not to tell his age, but he was the first MVP of the Hardy's Classic. You'll have to check on that with him. So he's excited to get back there. But, they talked at the press conference, and I would agree that this is probably the toughest bracket that they've had in the ladies' side of the Hardy's Classic. Obviously, Cott County was a Final Four team last year. They've lost a couple pieces at point guard, and we saw them a couple weeks ago when we went to Morristown. But they're a very good team. And on our side, I don't know much about Boone and Providence. We'll see. What's crazy is we'll see Boone at the Ladies Classic. That's who we open up in the Ladies Classic. So
you might play them twice.
Yeah, it's one of those things that there's not much variety if you stay in tournaments around here. I think that's why some of the other schools have went to farther places away to play. But it'll be a good tournament. It's always good to get that tournament feel, and it's good for our girls to kind of be in a tournament to where you play so many days apart to set you up for the Ladies Classic, but to also set you up for the end of the year tournament. And what better tournament to be in than this? A, it's close to home, and B, you got high level competition. So it's a great tournament. They treat us well, and hopefully we can bring our A game.
Hey, hopefully free hamburgers after the games too.
Hopefully free hamburgers. That won't be us the first night because it's they do give it. Maybe they will. We played 3:30 the first night, so I don't know how hungry I'll be.
That is true.
Lunchtime.
Hopefully you're not that. What early game was it I saw on here? Maybe it was the boys'
Clinton,
side. Yeah, there's a early game on the boys' side, an 11 a.m. game. Hopefully I don't think you have to play any 11 a.m. games.
No thanks.
Let's try to avoid those. Let's try to win so you get the 6 p.m. game
there we go.
On Wednesday, and then the championship game is at 6 p.m. also. Hopefully you're the primetime games throughout, except that first game when you open up at 3:30. But, Coach, I think that's all we got this week.
Can I give a shout-out real quick to
Absolutely.
Sand Meat Packing? They provided the hamburgers and hot dogs for our hamburger supper, so thank you to them. There was also a plethora of other sponsors. I'll put that up on our Facebook and our Twitter. But this week, this Friday, tomorrow, whenever this goes out, Friday.
Tomorrow.
So this goes out tonight?
It will go out tonight.
Oh, he's upgrading everybody. So tomorrow, go to Sand Meat from 12 to 3. It's their 1-year anniversary. Switching over to Sand Meat, they're going to have free burgers, so check out those. Met Sal last week, and he's excited about the anniversary party. So go out if you can, squeeze by. Hot dogs are huge, by the way.
They are.
Did you have one?
Yes, I did.
They're ginormous. So grab some of those while you're there as well.
Might have to swing by, but Coach, that's all I've got for you this week. Thank you once again. Thank you for watching this week's edition of the Terry's Floor and Kyle Donahue Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.
Hey, go Black Knights.